Hi, my name is McKenzie. This right here is me recreating a Hennessy advertisement from 1969. But this video isn't about me. It's about the man in the original photo, my grandfather, Charles Barron. But my grandfather wasn't just a model. He's been a teacher, a military man, collegiate athlete, a lawyer, an actor, a father, a husband, and overall, the smoothest guy I know. But before all of that, he was just a kid from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But you know what? I'll let him tell that story.
My name is Chuck Barron. I'm a native of North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where my parents were both teachers, and my dad was a businessman, was the first owner of a black oil company in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And he's done a lot of things. He's been a waiter in the years, and he's been motivating to me because the time that he came along was much different than the time that I came along.
He also had a successful sports career throughout high school and college. He played football, basketball, and dove in high school before going on to not only play basketball at North Carolina Central, but also teach other students how to swim. He has many stories like playing basketball in Berlin while deployed and interacting with prolific coaches like Big House Gaines. Athletics, I remember you told me this story yesterday about Big House Gaines. And, can you tell me about that story?
Most people know Big House Gaines who's the big-time coach black coach for Winston-Salem Teachers College. TC we called it. Big House Gaines lived just a few doors from where I lived in Winston-Salem, and he became one of the most popular black athletic coaches, basketball mostly, in the country. And he lived only just a few blocks from where I lived. And when I was in high school, when I was in elementary school, I was a basketball player, and I was a swimmer, and I taught swimming, and I played football as a receiver. And when I got ready to graduate from elementary school, the 8th grade, Big House came to me and came to my dad and said, "I want your son Charles to come, Chuck they call me then, to come to Winston-Salem State Teachers College, where he was a big-time coach." Big House.
Following college, my grandfather served in the military for 3 years and was stationed near the Berlin Wall during the Cold War. He specialized in cryptography and radio teletype in the Signal Corps. After returning to the States, he struggled with the decision if he was going to go to law school. He struggled with the fact that it would take 3 years and he would almost be 30 by the time he finished. His father wisely asked him, "How old will you be in 3 years if you don't go to law school?" So he returned to school and finished with his degree in 1968. After earning his law degree, he went to the Stella Adler Conservatory of Acting to improve his public speaking skills as a trial lawyer. There, he rediscovered his talent for acting.
Well, when I was in high school, in elementary school, my teacher would say, my acting teacher would say, "Chuck, you got an interesting look. You have a good personality. We want you," because this is when they started bringing blacks to some of the TV shows and things. And you go from, it started out just as a stand-in or whatever, and then you get up to be the person who's the main character in a movie or TV show or just a talk show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very, very much. Good evening, everyone. I really want
Sir, this crime is tracking pretty well.
What?
With the help of my grandmother, Martha Barron, my granddad restarted his modeling and acting career and was featured in magazines, movies, and advertisements all over the world.
Involved in some of the things that I've done in my career as an actor, a model, a teacher, and a performer. Motion pictures. Motion pictures, I've done several. One of which was one of the first, called One Life to Live, a soap opera. Then I got involved in a lot of soap operas, a lot of movies, And it's been exciting for me and for them. Somebody said, well, Chuck, we want you to model something. Modeling what? And it's folks at college would see me in the television and on screens. It's something I never thought I have any dreams about. I never really aspired to. I just wanted to be a good teacher. And when I look back and see all of the things that I've done to try to help other young people, and even my own kids. My daughter, my wife told me recently that when my daughter and I were doing some acting for some TV show that was big, and we were walking down the street together in the scene, and my wife just told me just a couple of days ago, Crystal was with me, and she said, Crystal saw the way that you were walking, and she tried to walk like me. She said, I like the way Dad was walking, and people would turn and look at him. And it was flattering to me because it motivated her.
My grandfather also had a career in government where he worked under 2 different presidents. He lived in all different areas of the country, but ended up moving back to DC after a threat was called into his home in Nebraska. With all of his different accomplishments, careers, and ties to historic figures and events, I would definitely describe my grandfather, Charles Barron's life as an obscure but phenomenal moment in African American history.
At a time when I was had just come on the scene, and to have him, when I go to a theater or go to somebody's house to party, and that's Chuck Barron, and the folks who are new in the business, who the hell is Chuck Barron? Now they know.